Let us rise above the vulgar morass of Man Booker shortlists and talk about poetry for a second. I'm in the middle of reading this Sharon Olds Stag's Leap, which has won the T.S. Eliot Prize and the 1913 Pulitzer Prize. So it's actually been out 2-3 years, but only come to my attention recently. It's published by Jonathan Cape in the UK. It is an extraordinarily sad piece of work. It's the most personal volume of poetry I think I've ever read, which is odd in the sense that all poems are deeply personal expressions of self ultimately. But this is, shall we say, more intimate in the sense that it is about Sharon Olds' the breakup of her marriage of 30 years. And what it expresses is the deepest sadness at the dissolution of a relationship that has clearly been one of companionship, but also love. And she clearly still loves her partner very much, and he has left her. And the pain that we're taken through is the sort of like almost the kind of quotidian nature of having to actually split up, the kind of practicalities of it, that questions have to be asked, negotiations have to take place, physical removal of property has to happen, but all the while what is being torn out of us is 30 years of being together, of all those things, bringing up children, professional ups and downs. And I'm in a relationship, I have twins of 13. We've been together almost 20 years. And when I'm reading it, I just think to myself, we must never split up. It is too painful. It's too heartbreaking. It's too sad to lose all of that time. And I just don't know anything that has expressed that better. I think what is particularly sad or poignant is that if we were to move on after a 30-year relationship to another relationship, it is what happens to those memories, which are a kind of continuum inside a relationship. But when that relationship is broken, those memories, I think, sort of become all of a piece and become properly in the past. So that is what one is letting go of. The continuum that you feel will be unto death suddenly becomes this thing. And I suppose the fear is as a thing that can be discarded. In the other person, in yourself, you can suddenly find yourself thinking or fearing you could misplace those things, which you can't do when they're in the continuum of a relationship. But the poems are extraordinary. I'm reading this review. I've only probably read 8. She has this interesting way that the times lyrical and tender, but sometimes the syntax is actually quite stubborn, and you think, hold on, I need to go back because there is something sort of blunt in the syntax. And then you read it and you realise that you have to go back and that bluntness in amongst all the kind of tender personal stuff just yields another sense of of the sadness, as though the bluntness is a kind of, as though the heart has gone hard, or maybe the heart wants to feel tougher than it is. But I won't be able to find. Yes, the last time we slept together, and then I can't remember when it was. I used to be a clock of sleeping together, and now it drifts in me somewhere. The knowledge in one of those washes on a map, on maps of deserts, those spacious wastes. The last time he paused at some rest stop, some interval between the unrollings, he put his palm on my back between the shoulder blades. And that's not a particularly, that's not the example, but it's just, I just can't, yeah. When we talk about when to tell the kids we are so together, so concentrated, just, yeah, it's just wonderful. I mean, I just can't recommend it enough, especially if you're interested in the kind of compound love, memory, togetherness that you get in a relationship that actually can kind of cleave apart the moment someone says, "I'm sorry, I found someone else."